And this was the beginning of woke.
Oh my
the early
God.
80s, and I'm like, because I played soccer and I never won a fucking medal, and I was a
me too.
really good player. So, but we get to semi-finals, finals, lose. I didn't want a medal unless I won it. I'm saying it was like, give me, because I won. I never understood this. Make everyone. That was my whole point earlier about making everyone equally mediocre, and then you're forced to take drugs and drink copious amounts of alcohol. Forced to.
Forced to.
Yep.
Now they don't need to force you anymore.
Thank God there was no sex involved. We'd never have made it.
And that's the end of our show. Advice that you would give siblings playing in the same band.
Don't.
Why'd you let your boys do it though? Welcome to the Paco's Place podcast. And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, once again at Paco's Place, Mr. Michael Aston.
I'm only here for the beer. Thank you, Michael.
How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Oh, the microphone. What happened?
Microphone? We just came back from Paris.
Oh.
Gay Paris. The fluid gender Olympics.
Oh, can we talk about that? Wait, put the microphone close to you, Mike.
Close to you.
No, not you to the microphone to you.
Okay.
There you go.
I understand. Stand tall.
So wait.
man.
You were in Paris when?
Paris. Gay Paris.
Am I supposed to agree to what you just said?
It's very exciting, you know.
Oh, that's what it meant. That's what it
Particularly
means.
if you're German and you're lost. No. We were there pre-Olympics. My wife and I have been married 32 years, thereabouts.
Shout out, Margaret.
And I've been begging her for centuries to take me to Paris, and finally she gave in and got a job.
You just, both of you?
And 2 of our children, 2 of our 5, yeah. We went to
5
Wales,
kids.
London and Paris, and spent one night in the country in Normandy.
And then?
Then came home. And
So how many days were you gone? Like a week, 2 weeks?
We're talking 14 days here. No,
2 weeks?
No, 10 days actually. Felt like 14. So we went to Wales.
Two of the
Last
5.
year I went with 2 of my boys, and the year before, or 2 years for that, the other son. So they'd all experienced Wales and London, which I'd spent almost 10 years. And the first time they'd done this kind of trip, Paris, London, and
Speaking of your kids, I witnessed them watching you on stage.
right, the appalled, right.
And I've seen you as a family. I've seen your whole family interact, and it's very inspiring. Like Michael Abad and I and the rest of our crew, we see you as our rock star hero. And
Right.
and how do your kids see you?
Well, for me, I'm just dad to them, and I think I'm, the same is true of their relationship with me. But I have no idea, to be quite honest with you. You have to ask my wife.
But you guys don't ever talk about it. Like I know that.
Well, they'll ask me my advice, and I mean, I have plenty of advice, not what to do, so that helps, But I mean, I encourage them, and they love music, and they've played in orchestras and music, basically most of their lives.
Aren't the boys in a band right now?
2 of them in the same band, yeah.
Yeah.
Hangman Blind. Yeah. They played with us too, man. Alex has played on stage with me too. So good-looking boys, just like their dad, more looks than talent,
Okay, advice that you would give siblings playing in the same band.
Don't.
Why'd you let your boys do it though?
I told them not to, but our kids have they're all great friends. I mean, my eldest, Oliver, is almost 30, so I mean, they all still hang out together. Magnus and Oliver live together. I mean, they're friends, as siblings should be.
Okay, speaking of, you mentioned Oliver and Magnus, and then there's Ian, who is
You're the Filipino, yeah.
your Filipino son.
Yeah, he's my son too. So yeah.
Who hangs out with him. Such a good guitar player, though. Yeah.
Well, he's a great drummer and a guitar player.
And a guitar player.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
But he's an all-round musician.
Wow.
But they're all very dedicated. I would say Magnus and Ian, particularly Ian, are just students. Total students of the music. They love music. They love orchestral music. They love jazz. They love Frank Zappa. Great taste. They've got really good taste.
Have they covered your band?
No, they've got taste. I just told you.
So self-deprecating. Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, Alex has played with me before, and I'm quite conscious. He thinks it's. I wouldn't say another level, but an entirely different thing.
Right.
So,
Now let's talk about. You said you're going on a North American tour
yeah.
as Gene Loves Jezebel.
As we began, as we continue to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am, yeah. Because it's funny because my youngest starts school next week, and I said, "Well, I'm probably going to tour next month." He goes, next month. Of how long? I said, I think a month. Well, who's going to take me to school? Well, fuck you. I said, Rose and Mom will be here. He goes, is it your last tour? I said, I wonder my career never went anywhere. That kind of support.
I guess that answers my first question. Huh? How the kids see you? Yeah. You're like, I'm going on a North American tour. Instead of saying, wow, congratulations,
yes,
Dad.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I go, who's going to take me to school?
I guess you could walk.
Wait, so this tour, is it just you guys, or is this like a caravan?
No,
or?
it's that's why I call it a tour, because it's us headlining our own tour.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we did a tour with a mission in South America and Mexico, and but I don't regard that as a tour. To me, it's us opening for,
it's their gig.
It's a vacation, It's fantastic. And they're the greatest band to tour with, by the way. They're the sweetest, loveliest, silliest human beings I've met.
And they take care of you guys.
Totally, yeah. Fantastic.
But when you're headlining, you're the host, you're taking care of your own crew.
Well, it's us, and as you know, I love to drive, so I drive us everywhere. I mean, I book the rooms, I've done that for decades. But we haven't toured for 10 years like this,
This is your birthday episode, by the way. So
yes, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, big 67.
See, 67,
Yeah.
you still look young.
I smoke and I drink, I do all the right things.
Heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
A while ago, we were talking about having to keep our mind young because of our kids.
That's right, we've no choice.
Right?
Because your audience must know that you're in a similar situation.
Yes, 5 kids.
Yeah.
How does it feel being 67 and still doing what you love with the people you love, surrounded by more people who love you and you love? How does it feel?
It's not enough left. No, I'm a very blessed man. I'm a very fortunate man.
When I turned, because I'm 53,
kid.
When 2 weeks, a kid, did you say it? I was like, I feel old actually at 53.
I thought when I turned 21, life wouldn't be worth living, so... Ever since then, I felt the same way. So you get to 30, 40, 50, 60, you'll be 70 at some point.
But are there days where you feel old? No.
No, never, no. I'm not allowed to, because I've got a young family, I've got a young wife. The music is a young man's game,
Yes.
You have to be in fairly decent condition,
Let's talk about that. The music is a young man's game.
Right.
We have to be aware that people think it's all party, but it's hard, especially now when you're touring. Like you just mentioned that you're driving. It's a big responsibility.
Yeah, but I mean, it was even in the day when things were easy and you get 5-star treatment, it's still hard work.
Yeah,
It's
your voice.
You're running around non-stop. You have to, particularly when you're with the major labels, you're constantly being worked. You meet radio stations, meeting all the local record people, the record shops, the newspapers. So it's non-stop chatter, perform. And then you're forced to take drugs and drink copious amounts of alcohol. Forced to. Yep.
Now they don't need to force you anymore.
Thank God there was no sex involved. We'd never have made it.
And that's the end of our show. Today, what would be different? Are you bringing the wives on the road with you?
My wife only recently started watching me perform, so again, she has taste like my kids,
So mean.
But she'd love to come. But she's, we had a young family for a long time. We still have a 13-year-old,
yes.
So we spent a lot of our marriage raising children, being a family. So that's always taking precedence. So, but yeah, she wants to come, and hopefully, we're playing the Philippines in December.
Yeah.
So
finally,
I know she'll want to come to New York or New Orleans, those kind of places, So not so much, Omaha, Idaho.
Wait, you have Omaha and Idaho?
I don't know. Who knows?
How about Florida?
Well, as you know, Florida is my favorite state.
I heard. Have you ever wanted to make a difference in people's lives as you make a difference in your life? Maybe a career in the healthcare industry is right for you. Well, think about this. A good work-life balance, competitive compensation, flexible schedule, fulfillment as you make a difference in other people's lives and your own life. In as little as 6 months, you can be a dialysis technician, and for over 10 years, Dialysis Education Services here in Southern California has been helping people fulfill their dreams in starting a career in the healthcare industry. So what are you waiting for? Enrollment is going on right now. Call the number on the screen or visit dialysiseducationservices.com. Now back to the program. Five kids, right? There are musician friends of mine who are younger than you and me who've given up on music because they say
Right.
that, raising 2 kids is hard.
Must be doing it wrong, Exactly. Kids are easy. So, well, maybe we've been lucky, but our kids have been incredible.
And then we talked about having the right woman by our side makes a
Right.
big difference also.
Well, I'm looking, Give me time.
I can see.
You'll find it too.
Found it.
Don't give up.
Found it.
Don't give up.
I found it.
Where? Tonight? I saw you looking at that woman in that restaurant. I knew there was something magic going on.
That was my wife. You're getting me. You're
Did
getting
you
me
tell
in
your
trouble.
current wife this?
You're getting me.
He's going to edit all this out.
No. I dare me. I won't.
But you're right. My father said to me, you only need one thing in life, and that's a good woman.
That's it.
And that's the only advice I ever took from him.
How many siblings do you have?
There's 8 of us, so 7 siblings, 6 boys and a girl, and there's 7 boys in total, one and a sister.
Life is in LA now.
Right.
Your life is in LA. You've been here more than 30 years.
Right.
You recently went across the pond. Any thoughts of moving back there?
I'd like to live in France, so. And I was only there for 5 days, but it just seemed so far superior to what England has become, what LA is, what America is.
Tell us
Just
more.
The architecture, the country, the roads, the service cafes, the shop, everything just seemed just way easier.
Has it changed
softer.
since you were young?
It's changed many. England in the 80s was a much better place. A much better place, And in the 90s it was good, and then it's declined greatly,
Well, what about England declined? Okay.
Well, I think it looks broke, I said earlier we went to China. I expected China to be lost, dilapidated, useless, ruin. It's complete opposite. Everything was fantastic. The bridges, the
roads,
the cities, the roads, everything was clean. It was just, everything was great. Everything tasted nice there. And that was a huge surprise because all the stuff we're supposed to believe, I've heard the same is true as they say of Russia. It's beautiful, incredible. And we think they're all living out of soup kitchens or something. It's we are relatively.
Like we were just talking about not eating out anymore.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Going over, dinner for $600 fucking dollars. Give me a break.
That's a lot.
It's insane.
Do you think it's ever going to change for us here in the States?
Things change all the time, of course. Yeah.
Like with regard to talk about Brexit. Are you familiar with that whole?
Of course. Yeah. Brexit was a good thing. So
explain. I don't get it.
Well, I think countries should be independent. Maybe that's why I liked France so much, because you still felt like. It's only a visit. I could be completely wrong, but I felt like I was in a different culture. Entirely different place.
What was the whole point of Brexit anyway?
Well, oh God, you're talking about a really long conversation here. But
this is your episode.
So the idea was the Tories used it. The Conservatives, the ruling party, used the working class to rob them, essentially.
Okay.
But I think in a larger sense, it was a good thing because to separate England from Europe and Germany. They should all be. We don't need to be so generic and like everything is measured the same way. Everything tastes the same. Everything's a Starbucks and a fucking McDonald's.
So they were trying to make Europe into, like when they say European Union, like the
That's
United
what they want.
States.
Just one.
Yeah.
Drive through the States. Drive 3,000 miles, and you pass 15,000 McDonald's and 80,000 Starbucks, and everything looks the same. Everything tastes the same. Every supermarket sells.
Even the
same
currency.
things. We were in France, and we couldn't buy a French loaf because we didn't have euros. Because I've been used to paying the last time with my phone everywhere I've traveled.
Yeah.
Don't. It's fantastic. But with this, we were in this village in this boulangerie. Fantastic! He's so gorgeous. And the guy just looked at us. What's that?
They want euros.
Give us your fucking money, you cunt.
But no technology. Just
they didn't in this. They just kept there's a huge cultural war going on everywhere.
even here.
Here, particularly here. Particularly in Europe, they're trying to create their world, this totally, utterly dysfunctional, faceless, mediocre, nothing world where everything is, like I said, tastes the same, looks the same, feels the same. They want everyone to be ugly and everything to be ordinary and everything to be banal. They want everyone to work for nothing, so they lose the value of their cultures, their language, the tapestry. You want to feel. I lived in London in the 80s, and coming back this time, I just felt it could have been anywhere. It lost its sense of its ownness.
It's style.
Yeah. So.
Because I remember, like the reason why I'm setting it up that way is because back in the 80s, like the more androgynous or the more obscure you dressed, that was your statement right there.
Right.
And so even in the Philippines, like if you were punk,
but it was
you
exotic,
dressed
and it was a sense of your personality. It wasn't. Now you get the sense they want everybody to be androgynous. Everyone to be gender fluid. My womb is in agony over it.
Talk about the speaking of the Olympics, the boxer. Are you familiar with that?
It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I could win a gold medal then, easily.
But why? What's the conversation at home?
For one, a man who's transitioned, which is impossible, to a woman, suddenly wants to win the most masculine sport there is.
In the women's division, yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fight a man if you want to fight a man,
What about putting boundaries with regard to that?
That's easy. The boundaries are easy. You got a womb, You can go with the women. You got a penis. You go with the men. It's very simple. Other than that, I've always said, have a transgender Olympics. They got paraplegic Olympics.
Yeah.
Same thing. Give them a wheelchair. I don't know.
Society's wokeness is. You think it's about to implode, or do you think we're just at the?
I think it's a reaction
at the crescendo.
Someone's gonna win. There's a big fight. It's a cultural war. But coming from a guy from the 80s who wore makeup and dresses, who thinks it's gone too far. It's gone too far. It's ridiculous,
Can you imagine, no? Like, who knew? Back in the 80s, you were dressing, you were putting on makeup.
Right.
Now it's like...
but the chicks dug it. That was the thing. We did it to get the women. It's not my fault most of the women were lesbians. That's how we rolled in the day.
Now if you do that, now it's different. Now it's a different statement.
Oh, it's so fucked up.
Would you, as Gene Loves Jezebel, put on the makeup still? No.
I wear makeup still.
But not as much. Like when Michael and I saw you, like you had the scarf on, you had the look on, but...
I had the G-string, you remember that? I remember the bollock falling out. It wasn't my bollock, it was the worst thing.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
you were going to make a point. What was it?
No, the thing is, you're right, because we would dress for a different reason. We would get dressed and make a fashion statement for a different reason.
Well, it was fun, and it was a statement, like you say. It was a political statement, but usually just for a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
It's a very competitive era,
Yeah.
Think about it. With Gene Loves Jezebel, we're up against
I
A
like
lot.
so much. Are you friends with most of them? No.
Oh, I mean, I've met quite a few of them later in life, and they're all lovely people. That's a weird thing, but when you're in your youth, you're competitors, right? So,
Okay, among your competitors, who is your favorite?
of 80s bands?
Yeah, like the guys from Tears for Fears.
I would think, well, I admire them, you know, I mean, a couple of songs for sure, you know, great singers, great songwriter. But people like Talking Heads, I've
Oh
always
my God.
admired. But on a musical level, you know.
Did you ever meet them?
I met the bass player who actually recognized me, and I was being my usual arsehole self and said something in a elevator. And she said, "Oh, Michael." Which I knew it. But that was flattering. How wonderful, yeah.
David Byrne actually did a play about the Philippines.
Okay,
Here Lies Love, which was on Broadway.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was gay. But
No, it was about the
No, I'm
Marcos.
kidding, I'm
I know.
kidding. He's
I know you are. I know you are. Who else? Oh, Talking Heads. Who else? That's an American band, though.
I'd have to think.
No British band.
Which British bands did I?
Because you know it was called the British Invasion for a reason, right?
Oh, we're from Wales for one, so
Okay.
they don't regard us as British. Then they're with Stonehenge, and that's where it ends. I'm trying to think of bands that I liked.
Not the Duran Durans, no.
Well, this weird thing, we went to Coachella. I've never been a fan of Duran Duran, but they were fucking amazing.
At Coachella.
I know, they were absolutely stunning. Other Blondie, who I loved as a pop
Blonde,
group,
yeah.
sucked.
Oh.
Beyond sucked. What other bands did we see? Ministry, great. I'm more forgiving. I mean, I got to be honest, I hated all my contemporaries. As far as I was concerned, they were taking food off my table. No, that's not true. But I never was in awe of, you know, any.
None of them.
None of them. No.
Not even the Depeche Modes. The
Particularly not Depeche Mode. No.
okay.
Well, it's a whole different genre. We regard ourselves as a rock and roll band. Weirdly, you know.
So the reason why I'm asking it that way is competition. Like, see, this is what I mean. Now it's fake competition. Everybody gets a medal. During your time, during our time, it was.
Well,
Really,
I remember because I was married when I was 18 years of age, and I remember this is in like 76. So I remember my first son. I would go back, of course. I was divorced, but I'd go back as often as I could to see him. And he had a karate. He'd gone to a karate event, and they gave every child a medal.
trophy, a medal.
And this is the beginning of woke.
Yo, my
the early
God.
80s, and I'm like, because I played soccer and I never won a fucking medal. And I was a
Yeah, me too.
really good player. So, but we get to semi-finals, finals, lose. I didn't want a medal unless I won it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because I won. I never understood this. Make everyone. That was my whole point earlier about making everyone equally mediocre. You're all great. Everyone's fine. It's okay to be fat. It's great to have no teeth and play guitar, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's not right. You got to work on yourself. You know, it takes something. Maybe you do have to run faster, you know. Maybe you have to be a boy in a boy's race and a girl in a girl's race, you know. We'll do it that way, you know. So
Could it be that you and I are just old? That's why we think this way.
could be, yeah. I mean, we could be influenced by our generation. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my mother was a pretty smart woman, and she came from the 30s and 40s. She was very forward thinking, so a true progressive, you know. So I mean,
See, when you say a true progressive, there's meaning to that. There's meat to that because your mom was really probably after progress. This, to me,
no.
this is not.
They're after this even playing field, but that even playing field is making everyone
Yeah,
nothing.
like now it's embarrassing.
Nondescript, you know.
It's
You know,
embarrassing to
yeah.
stand out.
Yeah, I'll never understand it.
Damn.
So
Okay, so competition. I'm really trying to establish this with the audience that nowadays people hate to be in competition with other people. They think they'll hurt the other person's feelings.
there they are, feelings again. Yeah.
It's like
Crazy.
no discourse.
Well, my wife tells me no one will ever employ me. I mean, the reason I've evolved or devolved to what I am, because I'd be fired in a second. You know. Can you imagine trying to tell me to do something if I thought you were doing it wrong?
Did you ever apply for a job in the States?
I've taken a few jobs, but they haven't lasted very long.
I think this episode of yours is a more relaxed episode, though. So we're gonna ask you, what jobs did you apply for?
Well, I worked in a sex shop once. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
The Hustler on Sunset.
No, they sold sex toys, dildos, like the one you've got.
Like the one you've got.
Big black one. That big horse's dick hangs out of your ass every night.
Yes, you saw it in my living room, right?
Yes.
Together with the guitars. No, really? There you.
Only for a few months I worked in one of those places.
How'd you get kicked out of that?
It's caught stealing. No, not true, no. I did that for a while. I drove a job I actually enjoyed, driving a crazy Jewish woman's jewelry business around the country.
Oh, that was nice.
I enjoyed it. It was great. I remember getting pulled over by a cop, and I opened this huge Sprinter van up, and it's full of
the diamonds.
$500,000 worth of fucking jewelry. And he looked at it and goes, close the door and let me get it out of here. He didn't even want to look into it. But I haven't had many jobs, let's put it that way. I mean, I worked in a steel mill. That lasted like 6, 7
Wait,
years.
the whole steel mill thing, but that's over there, right?
Yeah, that was when I was a teen.
That's where you were struggling at that time.
I don't know. I was working in a steel mill. We had good wages. I mean, it wasn't a horrible job at all.
Struggling as a musician at the time, because
Well,
that was a pre-Gene Loves
Well,
Jezebel.
you never. I don't think you ever struggle as a musician when you're young, because it's a dream. It's what you want. And your dream, your life is to be on stage, to make records. It's not a struggle. It's not a struggle at all.
It's hard work. Yes?
It's hard work when it becomes a profession. I'm sure it's hard work for a lot of bands that travel around the country, play for nothing, and sleeping in a van. Those kind of bands, but that wasn't us.
But that was fun. You never did that.
Well,
no.
you didn't have to, because England's a small country. You can get to Edinburgh back in the same day, if you're committed. So you could do a lot more in America, of course. Getting from New York to LA it's a different experience. Yeah. So
that work ethic, the mindset,
right.
did it ever disappear? Like during the time that you were building a family, did you keep that mindset?
Well, I never lost the mindset to want to create, and to make a statement. But my family was always more important. But there were other things going on in my life, with the political things with my brother and whatever else, which hindered. Try making music when there's people trying to stop you doing it.
Yes.
That's a struggle. So, but that makes you stronger. Also, because that makes you say, "Fuck you, I'm going to do it." So
there's that resolve, right? When I say there's that resolve, it's like, you do you, I'll do me. So it's time to move forward.
I mean, I feel differently about the creative process now. To me, it doesn't have to happen. I have 3 albums worth of material I could release tomorrow. It needs to be finished, but I don't feel I have to do it now, and it has to be done there. I need to find the right people, the right engineer to work with to get it right. It's more precious, not less precious. I was inspired by someone like Leonard Cohen, who took 40 fucking years to write his greatest song. So I can wait a few years. But I mean, I may have material coming out before this tour. I can release it tomorrow. But I want to. I'm not sure. What context? Not like the old days. You'd arrange a tour 3 months before. You'd finish the record 3 months before it was released. You had a schedule. Now it's like, if you release it, who's going to hear it? There's no labels anymore as such. You got just as much chance of becoming a success, from what I gather, if you just chuck it out on iTunes or whatever it is. So, and also when you get older, you're not motivated by this. You're not looking for a woman. You're not looking for someone to approve of what you're doing. You're not looking for peers to say how great you are. You're not looking for, you've lived a life and it's still vibrant. It's like, fuck, I don't care what you say. Now I'm writing it for me. How do I feel about it?
But you can't say it's more authentic and the past was less authentic. Just a different mindset. Just a different position in life.
Well, I think as you get older, you're addressing. Or you should be you shouldn't be making sexy little records when you're in your fucking 60s. It's ridiculous. Look how ridiculous Mick Jagger looks. It's pathetic. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You should have learned something about life. You should have some input. You should have an opinion. You might have some wisdom. You should always be writing for yourself. That's why
Right.
young men or young people, better be careful what I say here. So, girls can write too, okay. But there are, they tend to be they're most vital when they're young because they need to get on this. It's an energy, there's something, a chemistry. But as you get older, that changes. You'll be addressing different things,
Like an older crowd, or
Well,
or maybe a
I'm trying
different
to think of
perspective.
artists. Paul Simon, he always wrote records that were equivalent of his time. Peter Gabriel, that's what you should be doing. Sing a song about Paco.
Is that one of the reasons why you wouldn't, if you could avoid it, not perform the pop hits of Gene Loves Jezebel? Is that a statement?
Well, there's songs I love playing. I love playing Heartache, Desire. I love playing Upstairs. There's certain songs which I don't like playing because I think it's garbage. I thought it was garbage at the time, and I think the band did too. And if they didn't, then they're morons. Either one of the two, or all could be true. But I take great pride in some of the stuff that we did, and that's what we play. A lot of the later stuff I did too. Why Me?
Yeah.
Love Lies Bleeding. Loving You's the Best Revenge. They're great little tunes, beyond doubt. So I'm proud of that catalogue. There's one or two songs which I can't possibly play, I have to get one of your band
Yeah, Benji.
Get Benji to come and sing it. In fact, I've done that. I remember we played a show in Peru. And he said, "Are you doing Emotional Love?" And I said, "No, I fucking hate that song. I'm embarrassed by it." He said, "If you don't play that song, you will be lynched tonight. They will kill you."
So what'd you do?
So the great thing about Latin American audiences, they tend to sing everything for you if you don't want to. So
you just stood there.
So I go, "Hey, listen." And they sang the whole song.
Oh!
I go, "Thank you."
That was a pinch me moment for Benji. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, thank you, Benji. See you again soon. So, but we play it, but I tend to drag someone from the audience or get my guitar player to sing it, or if I'm lucky enough, get my beautiful daughter to come up and sing it. So,
The kids, if they decide to pursue a career in music,
right.
not just on the side, I'm looking at Margaret also, see, like if they decide to pursue, like, you know what, dropping out of school, I'm going to take my chances with music.
I don't think they're.
You're in denial.
I think you have to have a struggle in your life to be a successful musician.
You just said there was no struggle.
No, but no, not from the music. Struggling music. That's a big difference.
But
I
you
think
said the steel meal paid.
Steel paid well. No, but you have to come from a large Catholic family, a poor Catholic family, 2-bedroom house, outside fucking toilet,
okay.
go to a fucking rotten Catholic school to want to get away from that. And there's two ways to get away from it. You become a great soccer player or a musician, okay? That's the struggle. Going on the road, meeting chicks and doing drugs is not a struggle. You fucking idiot.
That would make sense.
What's the struggle for you? Getting up in the morning by the sounds of it.
No, but it's
It was
true.
such a struggle. I could not finish the chorus. It was so hard.
But
And I looked at my bass player and he looked at me and we cried.
Guess what? That's their struggle now, huh?
Well, that's
Right?
Write
That's
the song.
today, yeah. Now,
I don't know how devoted they are. I do know if you're not devoted, you ain't gonna fucking make it, unless you're a bass player or something,
you are so mean.
Well, a bass player can play with anybody. I mean, any band.
Okay.
He's the only musician who can actually play with anybody, I mean, a bass player can play in any tribute band, no matter how bad he is. So, why are there bass players? There's no reason for them.
Why?
Why? That's the real question of life.
But I can wait. The singer of Rush, popular bass player, Geddy Lee.
Why are there a Rush?
Who else?
I hate Rush, so that's a bad example.
Oh, I was going to say Duran Duran. You don't like Duran Duran either.
No, I don't. I thought they were great live.
Oh, John Taylor.
He's a good bass player.
Yeah?
He's not a very good soccer player, though.
No. Kurt Smith, Tears for Fears.
He plays bass.
Oh.
He does.
Oh,
He does.
you are shots fired.
I'm kidding.
I know.
I play with some great bass players. I mean, Gene Loves Jezebel always had great bass players. You know.
Who plays bass right now? I mean,
Well, Slobo and
Yeah,
Candid, both fantastic
yeah.
bass players. So Slobo in particular is very melodic, and we've written a couple of really good songs together. So, but I loved it with the bass because you think of all the famous bands, you know, they've always had crap bass players, you know.
why is that so?
Because it's the easiest gig to do. I mean, you got 4 strings. You're playing rock and roll, 3 fucking chords, you know. You'd have to be an idiot. You'd have to be an idiot not to pull that off. Then you get exceptional players like, you know, the John Taylors of the world, John Paul Jones,
Yes.
the Entwistles. They're all fabulous, but they're artists. They're not bass players. I mean,
I get you.
You know, they're unique. They're known because they took the instrument from where it was, you know.
So is it safe to say that it takes more effort to turn a bass guitar or playing the bass into an art form as opposed to being a guitar player? Because
Oh, it could be less actually, because I mean, there's so few bass players, at least that I know of, in the rock and roll world, that have done that. You know, where you can actually, you know, I've never seen a top 100 bass players of all time. I've seen plenty of top 500 guitar players.
right, so it makes it easier. It makes it
Easier to be a bass player.
to be a guitar player.
I mean,
It's easier to be an artistic guitar player.
I've never met a bass player who started off as a bass player. How's that? You know, do you think that Jimi Hendrix's bass player was a bass player?
Probably a sucky guitar
No,
player.
he's a guitar player. They're all, you know. I mean, if you want to get laid, you're not going to play bass. It's primal. I didn't answer your question, but I got away with it. Yeah.
Yeah. What instrument do you play?
I don't play any instruments. Yeah.
Not even the bass.
Why would you play? But I can't imagine. When I was 14, I remember having a bass guitar in my hand and going boom, 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 like 4 farts and a fucking shit, you know. Boom, who wants to play that? Then I pick up a guitar and you put a little glass bottle on it and you got a couple of effects on it. It's the most exciting. It's masturbation. The bass guitar is such a bore. I can imagine learning that instrument. Boom, 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 boom.
That could be a start of something, what you just did.
That's Dazed and Confused. So.
Oh, see? See?
But
Oh, well, Johnny
that's a melodic bass player. That's the difference.
Okay, let's get out of that music thing.
Okay. Because one, I know nothing about music and don't know what I'm talking about, but carry on.
But when you do music, when you write music, who do you collab with?
Well, for example, you could give me a piano piece or a rhythm, and I'll listen to it and I'll put a melody and a lyric across it. So that's how it's usually made, you know. I usually come up with all the lyrics, the melodies, the choruses.
So are you open to collaborations?
Well, I can't play anything, so I'm kind of forced to. You
No,
know?
like if someone let's say Michael comes up with an arrangement, or I come up with an arrangement, and I say, put some melody and
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
But I'd have to like it.
of course.
And it would have to be. I respond to things emotionally, so sonically it would have to work for me. I mean, I hate the Beatles, for example, and they write lots of great songs because sonically it doesn't work for me. But I love John Lennon. Go figure that, you know.
But the Beatles materials, no.
No, I just can't sonically. It doesn't work for me at all. I don't like Rush, for example. It's not just the Beatles.
Okay.
I love the Doors.
The Doors.
You know, I love Led Zeppelin. You know, I like a lot of Queen. You know, so I like a lot of, you know, I like the Velvet Underground. Not the best musicians, but sonically they're moving. They move me. You know, I like a lot of country music. So
Really? Among the bands that you mentioned, who have you met personally?
well, I've played with John Cale, Nico of the Velvet Underground,
Yeah.
which is a good start.
Yeah,
But he didn't get Lou Reed though. He passed away too quickly.
I know. Speak on the mic.
I've met an awful lot of them, but I haven't met them. I met Mick Jagger, I told you once, and
Yeah.
we went out for a few beers, and that was it. You know, he hit on my wife. My wife always regrets not taking him up on it. So do I, because I could have lived off.
Indecent proposal.
So It's actually me proposing to Mick. I find him rather attractive.
Oh my God. Who else?
Gender fluid. I've nodded at Bob Dylan. He's this close to me.
How about David Bowie? No?
I've been this close to Bowie, and we went to see. This is a good story. Well, it's not really a story, but I guess it is. We went to see Jeff Beck and Stevie Ray Vaughan. They played a show,
Shit.
and Stevie Ray Vaughan was fucking unbelievable. That's a really amazing.
So you saw him live?
He was so much better live than he is on record, you know. So yeah, that was mind-blowingly good. Beck was interesting. You could tell that he didn't have a band, you know. So do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But anyway, me and my brother sneaked in. We had tickets to go to the show. We're not backstage, but we sauntered straight through the curtain to go backstage. And Eddie Van Halen, Bowie's with this huge-breasted woman. He's talking about the guy from Pink Floyd. What's his name? Syd Barrett. And I always know Bowie admired Syd Barrett. Took a lot from him. You know, the makeup. Yeah. And there's you talk about Gene Loves Jezebel. He comes from those guys. You know, he's got glam rock. He's got nothing to do with any sexuality. You know. And but he's talking about Syd Barrett, and I'm within earshot. You know, so. That's my David Bowie story, but I've never. You
didn't even tap to say hi.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Jimmy Page. I was this close to him, sitting in a rehearsal studio in London.
What'd you say?
And he was having coffee, and I was having a coffee this close. I can't. He's my hero, so I couldn't. You know, Robert Plant tapped me on the shoulder in the Universal.
Is this the Virgo in you? You're not gonna.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Janelle wouldn't do it.
I met Steve Tyler, who's very nice. At my manager's house. Who else? I met. Quite a few names, but I've never hung out. You know, I've been in situations where I've been a lot of celebrities, but I'm not the kind of guy to go foolishly. I'm not the kind of guy to, you know,
to say hello at least.
Hi. I mean, I could have said, "Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?" I didn't have a band at the time, you know. I could have gone, "Hey, what's going on, man? Let's do a couple of tunes together, right?" That's how you do it, not me. No, I'm going to start again and find totally unknown musicians and do, you know, rewrite the fucking wheel, you know. Is
it because? I can't say you don't care because you do.
I do, yeah.
Is it because...
I think there's an insecurity. There's a desire to... I'm not a game player, you know. It's that's not part... My ambition is for some way to find who and what I am, not through somebody else, you know. You know, I don't want to be the next White Snake with Jimmy Page or whatever they call it, you know, or one of those superstar collaborations. Right. They never work anyway when you think about it. They never do.
True.
You know. So I always like to start again, and in my head, I'm Michael Aston here, and there's nothing beyond that. You know, you say, I'm Michael Aston from Gene Loves Jezebel. To me, that's a figment of your imagination. You know, I can't stand that guy. Neither should you. No, but seriously, music doesn't. Begins here and ends here. You know, whatever I do is what I do. You know.
But you know what? The difference between our first encounter and today, like me personally, I'm talking to you as a friend.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the first time you were sitting in front of me, I was like, oh my God, am I really doing this?
Right.
Now it's like, I'm fucking doing this.
Yeah, familiarity breeds contempt. It's true. I've had that. But I take my kids to school and I've had women come to me, oh my God, you're Michael. Oh, I love that. Oh, I heard you on the radio, blah, blah. The next thing they tell my kids, your dad ever wash his hair? It's true. I'm not even making this shit up. So now I don't talk to anyone. My wife was, we've lived on the same street for like 20 odd years. And I know 2 people on that street. And she'll say, oh, you know, did you see Jan today? She looked awful. Who the fuck's Jan? You know, we basically raised their child for them, if you remember. Oh.
Are you turning into a grumpy old man?
I started as a grumpy young man. So. Nothing's going to change. I'm never grumpy now.
But then again, people might think it's true. I mean, I don't think it's true.
What's true?
That you're a grumpy...
No, you just made this shit up.
No, you just said you started out as a grumpy young man.
No, I didn't. I was not...
You don't come across as...
No. I mean, I'm mixed. I can be very, very cynical, but obviously very optimistic. I've taken great chances in my life, take great risks, you know.
And you're very hospitable too.
Yes, I am.
You know? That I can.
Both of my lungs, yeah.
Cigarettes, Michael.
So you love them. Listen to those rich Welsh dulcet tones, darling.
Are you gonna quit cigarettes?
Never. You only have to give up one cigarette, right? The next one. What's that Cheech and Chong line? I lost one of my lungs and cut my smoking in half. But it should be doubled if you think about it. No, so it's one of those Spinal Tap 11 things again.
Crank it to 11. Oh my God. You're going on tour. An album isn't out yet. You're not going to do the whole traditional way of touring in support of an album. What can you say about the whole DIY, DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby way of doing business now?
When I think about the best records we made, they were do-it-yourself. I mean, we went down to studios, but the best stuff we did was when we were at some dodgy studio and we had some unknown engineer and we were controlling the boards, you know. It gets worse when it's all controlled. Do-it-yourself sounds great to me. I can't see a problem with that. Do you? I mean, what am I missing?
Yes and no. I think if we're musicians, because back in the day we were all about the music and that was it. Now we need to know about the music, know about the business side of the music. Yeah. Do you own your masters?
No, we do not. Yeah. I own a lot of my own music.
Right.
Gene Loves Jezebel.
Are you allowed to re-record your old stuff?
Yeah, I can do anything. Yeah. But it's not the same. You'll never capture every studio, every moment. That you put the same 4 people in the same building, same studio, same engineer, same equipment. 2 hours after they cut that same classic, and they won't be able to cut that same song.
Even to your point, I agree, because a demo sometimes is better than.
Well, I worked with a guy called Steve Earle, and he once said to me, he's never been to a studio where there's a demo button. It's record. And your best work is, when you're doing it, when you're anxious and, well, I don't know for me, but the best work we do is when it's on the fly and it's everybody's in that same spot. No one really knows where they're going, but they're all driving at the same vehicle. So, I don't know. Producers can ruin you. That's my real point. Do it yourself. You're probably going to get closer. A lot of music is luck, is what I'm really saying.
Do you have a producer now? Or is it you're self-producing everything?
No, I work with people as a producer I like, but there's no one who's got it perfectly right for me, And usually I've had a lot to say about, people have called me a perfectionist, which is some truth.
Can we talk about your room?
But my room?
Yeah, if you being a perfectionist, like we were just talking about it offline, guys. Like he'd fix it, ruin it, fix it again, ruin it, fix it again.
I'm not a darling, am I a perfectionist? Thank you. I'm the most sloven, lazy motherfucker you'll ever. But I am a perfectionist when it comes to music. If I'm recording something, anything, I can't let anything go. If it doesn't sound right to me, I'll go over it and over it again, And, I'll drive.
No one can tell you that.
No, they know it's great. It's not. And I'll know what I'm talking. I've had the same song and it's taken from one studio where I've done it. They've gone to the next studio to mix it, and I say that's not nearly as good as the fucking mix we had from where we just came. Let's go back there. So, they're different plates. They're different effects. They're different this. I said no, I don't give a different air conditioner. So I don't trust them. When I hear something great, I know it's great. Yeah, you don't fuck with that. Okay. So I'm working with a song I told you last. I really believe in. It's still over a year, and the struggle is to get this producer friend to make him understand what I'm trying to get. And the magic of the first thing that we did is incredible. The chorus is fucking amazing. It's a great statement, but he can't get the verses right. Not that he can't, but we can't. And I try to explain to him what I'm trying to get. That sounds too hot to me, meaning it's over feedback.
Yeah.
I said, no, that's where it should be. So, but he can't because his ears are more jazz. It's got to be,
So when there's a deadlock, what do you do?
Well, I've come to I'm thinking of taking what I have to Michael Rosen, a producer I worked with Michael Cirovola, he's a really amazing producer. So I know he could pull it out of it, So we'll see. But
that's exciting.
So we'll see. But it's a song I really, really think is a great song. What I was saying earlier on, and that's release it when it's. I could release it now and say, well, you'll never get the perfect song, but I know this song, from the first note to the last, should be perfection in what it's trying to accomplish. An emotional, spiritual, passionate, level. It's there. You can't fucking hear what I'm trying to get, and until I get that, it's never going to be released. So there you go. I may be wrong. It may suck, but I know I've never been wrong in my life about a song that I loved. So when I hear it, so
let's talk about your mortality, huh?
Oh, thanks. Smoking, now my mortality.
Yeah.
Grumpy old man. Where's this going?
It's
Have you put them up to this?
No. Because all these songs that are unfinished,
right?
Are they part of your? Are they in your estate? Are they in your living trust? Are they secured?
Well, she has them.
Okay, there you go.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, songs are a weird thing. I mean,
it is. But then again, when we're gone, what happens? Like my songs, my catalog, that's like Janelle is my no
She's
pun
your
intended, executioner.
Well, you met the woman of your life tonight. Your future wife. So she's your executor, yeah?
Yeah, executor there. Executor. Not executioner.
They call that a Freudian thing, don't they?
Freudian
slap.
Yeah, a slap on the face. But right, I mean, we have to be real with it with regard to that.
I don't think my family's going to do too well off my fucking legacy, but they will own everything I have. Who knows?
Yeah,
This song's going to be a song, but I mean...
How about unreleased?
Well, we have these. I have a bunch of songs unreleased, yeah.
You own them, right?
Yeah, we own them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's very important.
We could have owned a lot of Gene Loves Jezebel had it not be for my asshole brother, so we didn't want to...
Wait, did you have to split the catalog?
Well, there's something occurred a few years ago where the artists, after 16 or whatever years, had the rights to the, those records.
Yeah.
So it only take 2 or 3 original members to say okay to it, but when they won't, the other one doesn't. Can't do anything with it. So imbecile. Yeah, but he has no children, so maybe he doesn't think that way. So how much non-alcoholic Starbucks, what a decaffeinated coffee can you leave to your children?
That's true.
No, it's mind-boggling. A lot of musicians talk about how hard the life was, they've been ripped off, but a lot of them were fucking idiots. Stupidity.
So advice to future idiots.
Well, you own your work. That's it. Remember, make the music you believe in. If it, just don't ever, don't let them fuck with your dream, because they will. Because if you fail, like I said before, you fail on their terms, you'll never get over it.
You're right.
So just fail on your own terms. Do it for the rest of your life. You never know. There's no rules. Just do what you believe in. I have to live with songs that I hated, and I went along with the game plan. As much my fault as anyone else's. I could have said no,
but you didn't.
I didn't. I tried, but I just should have said no. I should have just walked out, and I did try to walk out, but I should have just fired a lot of them. But I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in what we did on that record.
Was the original crew a democracy? No. Or was it just you and Jay?
It was me mostly, but me and Jay.
Okay.
So, but it became more of a democracy, but it was always me and then between the brothers, Well, we wrote the lyrics and the melodies and the songs, so and the guitar players did their bit, but they weren't really songwriters,
No,
so.
More like arrangers.
Not even arrangers. I mean, a song is a melody and a lyric.
Yeah, that's it.
So many times I wrote 100% of the song, and my brother did the same. But you'd have to share it with the fucking bass player because he turned up,
it was one of those things. I get it.
It's the band, but it was bullshit. They couldn't write a song. Suddenly there's songwriters, I mean,
whose idea was it though? Was it yours?
What?
To put the bass player on the credit?
Well, no. I was raised a socialist, so yeah, we did want to share, but I never wanted to share. To me, it was like if you wrote the lyric, you should have half the song.
Yeah.
I always felt that. But then as we moved along, it became more of a partnership, shall we say, where suddenly everyone gets the drummer was getting fucking credits,
Now, what I do now with
And you used to forget his sticks.
I agree with you because it happened to Intro Voice also,
Right.
wherein I wrote most of the songs, but I was like, when I looked at the whole
Breakdowns, yeah.
ASCAP, even when I went to Universal Music Publishing Group to see the signature, I was like, what?
Right.
It's just that I'm brothers with the rest of the bandmates, so I just kept my mouth shut. But moving forward, what I do now is I'm writing the songs and I'm giving you a percentage, but you don't have any decision making.
Right.
So let's say like I write the song and you played drums.
I tell you what happened with us, okay, is we all came from working class socialist backgrounds for the most part. So the idea was us against the world together. We'll all look out for each other. And that can work. It's worked for many. It worked for U2, worked for R.E.M., didn't work for Aerosmith. I met Steve Town. He mentioned that. He hated it, which I don't blame him for, But you got to the point with those people where you fought for betray you.
Yeah.
That changes everything. So I would tell my children, you make what's yours is yours. It's what is Caesar's. Give unto Caesar.
No guilt, right?
No, fuck you. You didn't write. There's millions of examples. Great examples of people who've totally written and done everything and got zero credit and got robbed.
Like he just pressed the record button. Hey, but if he didn't,
I've had producers, right? They'll do.
Started looking at diapers to record.
Is your finger on that red button all the time?
Yeah, it's recording.
You're new to this, huh? You can take it off every now and again.
no, but yeah, right? I mean, yes and no. I guess.
But it's a fragile thing in a band too. I mean, you have egos, and even the guys who don't write contribute a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Their presence, their personalities, their playing, what they bring. So you're constantly dealing with this,
So would you suggest that from the get-go, that has to be clear cut?
I think it should be clear cut, yeah. These are the guys that are selling the tickets. These are the guys writing the songs. Now, you're welcome to join us, but otherwise, shut the fuck up or get somebody else is what you should do.
Good point when you say these are the guys who are selling the tickets, because it might be a band of 5, but 3 of the members are probably...
Well, I mean... we give a billion examples.
Go!
I mean, the Smiths, Morrissey and,
And Johnny Marr.
Johnny Marr. I mean, if the other 2 guys aren't there, no one's going to give a shit. Aerosmith, if, Tyler,
Even the Killers.
The Stones, I bet they could get away with, well, they almost are there now. They're all dying off. But, Keith and Mick is enough,
Yeah. A friend of mine watched the Killers, and he said, oh my God, they were awesome. I go, that you didn't see the original band.
Right.
And he was like, no, that was the original band.
I have that with my band. I said, they go, no original member. I said, we haven't had an original member since Jay and I, made the first record. They're gone. Even the original members didn't even get onto the first record.
What?
We had like 17 different guitar players. So, just because the band that was later pretended that they've lasted forever or they were around forever. Not true.
But it's true with regard to the people in the band who sell the tickets and write the songs. Yeah. They need to be acknowledged.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. But a lot of bands won't work unless you play a lot. I mean, what's that Coldplay? I mean, this one guy does every fucking thing, and he's carrying these idiots along with him. What do? They look like idiots. They sound like it's like Hootie the Blowfish, the guy from. It's.
And then no one.
But they're all together and they're all multi-millionaires, and he's happy with that because he's rich enough. I guess if there's enough money to go around, who cares, right?
Yeah.
It's when it's on a smaller level. I mean, you have to sell a hell of a lot of records to be a rich man in the record industry. I mean, it's the live performances that make them rich people. Stones don't sell records. It's playing $1 million, lunch breaks is what makes them rich.
Like the live shows.
The live shows, the stadium, $1 billion tours.
Merchandise. How come the last time I saw you guys out, there was no merchandise being sold?
It's very hard to do I'm going to take it out of this tour. But it's difficult when you're playing a club because mostly people who go to see club shows, you go to the whiskey, you're not looking to buy a bunch of merchandise and carry a couple of CDs home.
We would,
You
right,
would?
Michael, right? We were like, no merchandise.
Really?
Yeah. You know the band, the Wild Swans?
Yes.
To
The
this
Boston band, right? I think.
Paul Simpson?
A Boston band? I can't remember.
No,
Then
from Liverpool.
then I don't know now. Okay.
So we're fans of the Wild Swans. And,
Okay.
And we were going to interview the vocalist.
Okay,
Paul,
well, I'm going to
Paul
listen up.
Simpson.
I'm sorry, Wild Swans. I'm a Spurs supporter anyway, so.
Anyway, so this guy Michael goes, we're gonna wear the Wild Swans shirt, so that way we'll make a good impression. So he buys the shirts. He has this jacket on, and I was just wearing this blue Wild Swan T-shirt. And the first thing out of Paul Simpson's mouth was, "That's a knockoff."
You know, some of the best shirts we ever had are knockoffs. So.
Really?
Way better than what we've done. Even that when I went with the mission, they had Gene Loves Jezebel shirts and they had this beautiful golden burgundy. I brought one back. I didn't pay for it. I said, that's our fucking shirt. He said, you can have one.
Fair enough.
I'm fine. It was great. But a beautiful shirt. And they used this really thin cotton. I really love the thin cotton shirts. You know,
it's nice to wear. It's breezy.
You can breathe and it's comfortable and hides your beer gut. It's pretty good.
So yeah, and then this guy.
But even in the day, the shirts they sold, the bootleg, whatever they called them,
bootleg, yeah.
they were way better than the shirts that we were putting out. You know.
But true.
They take images from a magazine and
And
do their own thing, and it
Yes.
was like great. Do it yourself again. It's good.
For this tour in September, okay, what are you going to do differently and what are you going to do the same? What are people going to expect?
Well, I'm going to wear the same leather pants I've worn for the last 30 years. I've been repaired 25 times.
Are you really?
I got new shoes. That's a good thing.
Creepers? You know those
Familiarity breeds contempt. The first interview is sucking my dick, teabagging me. No, it's...
You know those shoes? Have you seen those shoes? Are you guys familiar with creepers? Those
I wear creepers all the time. I thought you were taking the piss. I wore creepers in the 70s. I love those.
I
things.
love those shoes.
I want to get some platform shoes, you know.
Really? Oh, higher ones.
I used to wear them. They're great. I mean, I'm 6'4", so put another 4 inches. That's 6'7".
Yeah, basketball. LeBron James. Okay,
Staying
go.
on the theme.
Oh, what else? What else are you going to do the same and differently?
Well, what can you do differently on stage?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
Production-wise.
I'm going to do it. Production.
Come on.
This guy's hilarious. Have you been drinking?
Not yet.
Have you been to one of my shows?
Yeah.
Production is if I light a cigarette.
No, I mean, okay. Because
We're
those
gonna have
are,
the girls. We're gonna have the trapeze. We're gonna have the midgets.
because Michael, those were bar. Are you doing a bar show now still, or when you go out on the road, will it be?
No,
what are
it'll
the
be-
venues?
It'll be clubs. It's gonna
Okay,
be
clubs.
some stadiums, smaller stadiums.
See?
Yeah, smaller stadiums, like 300 people stadium sizes.
Arena football.
Yeah, it's Legoland with real Legos.
New songs.
We won't be playing any new songs though. We're gonna play some old songs. Shaving My Neck, which we've never played live. I'm serious. People beg me to play that song.
Really?
They do. Not in the Philippines, of course.
What are you? Let's go there. December. Is it just you flying to the Philippines with a Filipino
No, it's
band?
my whole band. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. For the all the original members from the original, pre-original, post-original, originals. Who were originals before the first originals, but not as originals as the original originals, who changed their name to the new originals.
You know,
who are actually the old originals.
Yes, you keep saying that, but then again, you had a show at in Garden Grove
Okay.
without any of your bandmates.
Yes, but that was because I was paid excessive amount of money.
Right? How did it feel playing without
Well,
them?
it's like paper. I mean, it's crunk.
Not the money. How did it feel playing with not your bandmates?
It was great. I mean, they were huge fans. It was very weird. Never met them.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mark Damian, a good friend of ours.
They were played in tune on time. That was weird. So, not like any Gene Loves Jezebel band I've played with. Sorry to say that. That's not true. They were fine, but it's not the same as having your own band. If you play together hundreds and hundreds of times, even the bass player gets it right.
Last question. Do you wash your hair?
At least once a week.
Happy birthday, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Aston. We love you.
Thank you, my mother. I'm sorry, swans. I'll check them out though.
The mild swans. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll post the information for Michael's tour dates. Please stand by for that. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please keep supporting Michael Aston. We love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you all.